The Goodreads Choice Awards nominations have just been announced and I have so many thoughts. And honestly, some of them are pretty controversial. And guys, you know me, I am not about to sit here, smile and nod when something feels off in the book industry. Hello my friends, my name is Michaela. Welcome back to my YouTube channel where we normally talk about thriller books, but lately I'm diving into the book industry and today's victim is the Goodreads Choice Awards. We're going to be asking the questions that I am sure a lot of readers are thinking, but maybe not saying out loud. Is this whole thing a popularity contest? Who decides these nominations? And most importantly, are we doing a disservice to debut authors, diverse voices, by nominating the same authors over and over again? There is going to be a lot to unpack, so go and get yourself a cup of tea, get comfy, and let's get into it. And just to be super clear, this is not about tearing down any individual authors who have been nominated. This is a conversation about the system and if it's benefiting readers, the book community, and authors in the way it's supposed to. Okay, let's go. Let's start with the elephant in the room. Freida McFadden has been nominated 3 times in the mystery and thriller category. 3 times in the mystery and thriller category. Yes, I've said that twice on purpose. Let that sink in for a second. Now, before anybody comes for me in the comments, I'm not saying Freida McFadden isn't worthy. I'm not saying she doesn't deserve the recognition. Her books are wildly popular. Readers love her. This isn't about her as an author. In an award ceremony that is supposed to celebrate the best books of the year, how is it fair that one author takes up 3 of those nomination spots in one category? Think about it. There are thousands of thriller books released every single year. People who would kill for the chance, no pun intended, to be nominated in that mystery and thriller category. So how is it fair that 3 of those spots have gone to one person? Freida herself has actually addressed this, and I will put a screenshot of her post on the screen. But to be honest, it's made me feel even more icky. She's basically saying by nominating her 3 times, she can't win. So even Freida herself isn't happy with it. It is hard not to feel like these nominations are based on visibility and not quality, but that is something we're going to come back to later. Put a pin in it, if you will. The Goodreads Choice Awards used to feel like a really positive celebration of books that had been published this year, but I can't help but feel that as the years have gone on, they are becoming more of a reflection of which authors have the biggest following and who went viral on TikTok the most. And if that is it, why call it an award show? Why call it the Goodreads Choice Awards? Why not just call it the books that sold the most this year? Which one was the best? Because when one author takes up multiple spots, that is multiple authors who are losing the chance to have their books seen, have their books recognised. And we're already in an industry, the book industry already favours white authors. It already favours not diverse voices. It pushes the same authors out over and over again. Goodreads really have the chance to challenge this system, not reinforce it, which is exactly what they're doing. The next big issue is category overlap, where the same books are being nominated in multiple categories, whether that might be best fiction, best debut author, best audiobook, best mystery and thriller. The same books have been duplicated across multiple categories. And you might think, what's wrong with that? It's great in multiple ways. It's great that that book is getting recognition, but it is pulling away the chance from other books to be nominated in those categories. Every category should spotlight different books, different authors, giving authors the chance to have their books appear, not just copy and paste. Imagine being a debut author. Your book has just been published and it's had great reception. However, you've not been nominated in a category because it's gone to a book that's already been nominated in 3 other categories. We are shrinking the pool of recognition instead of expanding it, and that is exactly the opposite of what we should be doing as book lovers. If the goal is to celebrate the range of stories that have been published this year, why are we funneling the same stories throughout all of these categories? Best debut should only include debut books. Best audiobook should focus on the production of that audiobook, the narrators, not just putting it in the best audiobook category because it's a popular book that also has an audiobook audiobook version. For example, Karen Slaughter's We Are All Guilty Here, that has been nominated in the Best Mystery and Thriller category, and I absolutely love that book. It is a very worthy nomination, but I listened to a part of the audiobook, and the audiobook was one of the most basic narrators with no production that I've ever listened to. So why is it also in the audiobook category? Right now, the overlap is just multiplying the chances for these already popular authors to win instead of highlighting the voices that don't get the recognition that they might deserve. And of course, I come with receipts because I am mad. This has got me so mad. So I'm going to tell you about some of the books that have been nominated across multiple categories, and I think you're going to be shocked. King of Ashes, S.A. Cosby, nominated in Mystery and Thriller and Audiobook. Tourist Season by Bryn Weaver, nominated in Romance and Audiobook. Great Big Beautiful Life, Audiobook and Romance. Onyx Storm by Rebecca Yarros, Romantasy and Audiobook. Just in case that wasn't bad enough, I'm going to keep going. Atmosphere by Taylor Jenkins Reid, Audiobook and Historical Fiction. The Names by Florence Knapp, Debut and Fiction. That's a bunch of double nominations, but hold on, it's about to get worse. The Correspondent by Virginia Evans, Fiction, Audiobook and Debut Novel. Alchemized by Sun-Lin Yu, Audiobook, Romantasy, Debut. Triple nominations, guys. Triple. And then there's the wildest one of them all. Authors competing against themselves in exactly the same category. Ali Hazelwood, twice in romance, once in fantasy. And as we mentioned, Freida, with 3 books in the same category. And I added those up. If all of those authors only had 1 nomination each, if they only had 1 book appearing in 1 category in the Goodreads Choice Awards, that would free up 17 spots. That's 17 other books that have missed out on the chance of being nominated because it's been taken up by the same authors. 17 people have missed out on having their books nominated because the spots have already gone. Guys, we just need to take a second to sit on that because that is absolute insanity. 17 books missed out on the chance of being nominated because it was taken up by authors who have already been nominated. Again, this is not about the authors. This isn't blaming the authors. This is not their fault. I think so many authors who have been nominated are fantastic authors, but we need to put the blame on the system. And part of that is mentioning these authors and bringing these issues to light. The audiobook category for me is the biggest problem. That is basically a copy and paste of 20 books that have already been nominated in different categories. And like I mentioned with the Karen Slaughter, it has nothing to do with the production value of those audiobooks. They're not good audiobooks. They are just already popular books that have an audiobook version, like most books do. And then it gets truly bizarre because I could not believe what I saw in the audiobook category. Pride and Prejudice by Jane Austen is nominated for Best Audiobook. Guys, that book came out in 1813. Jane Austen has been dead for 200 years. I really don't think she's bothered about the Goodreads Choice Awards. Not only that, her book already has nearly 5 million ratings on Goodreads. I really don't think she needs her book given a platform. It's a classic book for a reason. Did it need that nomination? And Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone, a book that came out in 1997, is another one that is in the audiobook category. Was the pickings that hard that you had to pick a book that is over 200 years old and Harry Potter, which came out nearly 30 years ago by a very problematic author, may I add? I would absolutely love somebody to challenge me on this because it does not make any sense. I'm getting mad. I need to calm down. You are not celebrating diversity. You are recycling popularity. And that shows exactly how flawed of a system this is. So who actually decides on who gets nominated in the top 20? Obviously, after that, it goes down to public vote. But who is deciding the top 20? Because Goodreads are not being transparent on this at all. From what I can tell, it's based on a number of metrics, including how many ratings the book has had, how many times it's been added to people's shelves on the Goodreads. But quite frankly, is a wild guess. How do we know it's not just Goodreads using their already flawed algorithm bias? But here's the uncomfortable truth. Publishing already has systemic inequalities, and this is just highlighting that even further. Books by authors of colour get smaller marketing budgets. LGBTQ plus stories are likely to be categorised as niche. Disabled and neurodivergent authors also face extra barriers when it comes to their books being published. So if Goodreads is basing these nominations on what is popular, they are basically mirroring these exact same biases. I don't think it's intentional, but intent doesn't matter if the outcome is still exclusion, which is what this award show is. And that is why transparency is so important. Goodreads should share how they come up with these nominations, show their curated lists, show how they actually narrowed it down for the top 20. Then at least the processes would feel fair and we could hold them accountable. And I know what some of you are going to say, Michaela, that's exactly what it is. It's supposed to be a popularity contest. It's supposed to be based on what readers have loved that year. It's not the Booker Prize. We're not looking for new classics to put that mark on. But my question to that is that actually helpful? Because if you go to the Goodreads Choice Awards and you're looking for book recommendations, I can guarantee you are just going to find the same books that have been flooding your feeds all year, the same books BookTok is recommending to you, the same books that got big, huge marketing and ad campaigns. That is not discovery, that is deja vu. I don't need an award show to tell me that Freida McFadden is popular or Rebecca Yarros. The algorithm made sure that I already knew that. What I want from the Goodreads Choice Awards is new books, hidden gems, debut authors who haven't had their time to shine yet. I want it to be about discovery, and surely you do too, and if you don't, why not? Because when we only celebrate popularity, we're still stuck in the same echo chamber that we have been for the last 12 months anyway. So yeah, it is technically a Reader's Choice Awards, but if the only books that you have to choose from are the ones that are already dominating, is it really a choice? So after all of that, is the Goodreads Choice Awards a fix? I don't think it's a secret conspiracy where people are sat in the back room, deciding who's going to be the winner. Or maybe I actually do. But I do think the system itself is rigged by design. And the first step to making that change is by recognising that it's a problem. When nominations are based purely on popularity and visibility, you are by design going to get the same authors over and over again. When you allow category overlap and duplicate nominations, you are concentrating attention instead of spreading it. So maybe it's not a fix, but what I do know is it's definitely not fair and it's not serving the book community the way it should. But here's the thing, Goodreads can make steps to change it, and this is what I think they should do. Limit each author to one nomination per year. Restrict books to a single category, and show that you have a curated panel that includes diverse authors, debut authors, and also indie authors to ensure that they get the same chance as all of the other authors. I don't know about you, but I don't feel like that's very complicated. All it will take is some willingness by Goodreads to improve. Talking about things that just don't sit right in the book industry has become an unintentional passion of mine. I love books, obviously. And I just want to ensure that every author has a fair chance and readers are having the chance to find new authors and not just the ones that are already dominating the charts. And the sad thing is the Goodreads Choice Awards could be exactly that. They have the reach, they have the audience there. And they could use that, but they're not. They're just using the same popularity system as we've already got in the New York Times bestseller list. And I think we deserve better. Authors deserve better. Readers deserve better. And I want to know what you think. Do you think the Goodreads Choice Awards are fair? Please leave it in the comments below. Let me know what you think, even if you disagree. That is what these videos are about. Sharing our opinions, because your voice should never be minimized. And if you did like this deep dive, please consider subscribing and giving this video a thumbs up. It really does help me. And quite a lot of my videos are more fun and a bit less serious than this, but thanks for sticking around for the serious stuff because I am actually so passionate about this. More video essays coming soon, but until then, happy reading, friends. I'll see you next time.